Hollywood.
Oh, Sundance. Congratulations from the New Music Buzz over here in the front.
Name and affiliation, please.
Yeah, Chanel from the New Music Buzz. Sundance, congratulations. It's been so wonderful speaking to you these past few weeks. We're so happy for you. And Blake, congratulations as well on another win. Are you going to work together now to create the next chapter of Sundance's career?
That to me?
Yes.
I hope so. You know, the thing that happens that I've found out in the years past is, you know, he just won a record deal. He's won a record contract, which congratulations. But when that happens, you know, all of the control pretty much goes out of my hands. The only control that I really have from this point on is whatever Sundance would want to hand over to me, or just, you know, ask me about it. And I hope we keep our relationship as strong as it has been, because I think now more than ever our relationship means more now than it ever will, because you know, this is where it gets tough. You know, it's not been easy for people in the past. I think Sundance is the guy that can break that mold. Clearly, he's done it already. You know, by winning this thing, it wasn't easy. There's nobody else like Sundance out there, and that's my favorite thing about him. I think the first thing that we had to figure out with Sundance, he's got to figure out is where he fits in musically. You know, the thing is, his fan base and his talent. There's no end to. There's no beginning and there's no end. He can do anything he wants to do, and that's what he's got to figure out. I think the most important thing is to take a minute, not very long, but take a minute here and figure out what he wants to do musically, and then move forward from there. I got a feeling he wants to tomorrow start making his album and get out on the road. But you know, I think, and that's fine. But I think when it comes to, you know, genre and music and albums and stuff, I hope he takes, you know, at least 3 or 4 weeks here to really be sure he knows what direction he wants to go in, because unlike anybody else who's ever won this show, there's so many options for Sundance. I'm sorry I took so long. There's a lot to say about this guy.
Blake, Shelton, and Sundance, congratulations. How sweet is this victory for you both? And also, Blake, this is your 5th win. How does it feel to beat Adam, who had 2 artists left and he still lost?
Well, I'll let Sundance answer first, because this is your second go around at a competition like this. So talk about it for a minute, and then I'll answer.
Well, the first time that I tried something like this, I wasn't very good at it. And it took a lot of life to really figure out who I was as a singer and artist, and a beautiful woman to show me the ways. And I'm just really thankful to have the opportunity to make music and possibly be able to touch people's life for the better, for the greater good, through song that's been really important to me the whole time. I want to have a positive message and sing music that you know, my 2-year-old could listen to, or my grandma could listen to. I don't want to sing anything that's offensive, or, you know. I just want to have positive music and make positive records and be a positive person in the world if I can be, and that's my whole goal.
The second half of your question was me beating Adam? Because that's how I heard it.
When he had 2 artists left and still lost.
Yeah, well, you know, Adam, this is what makes this show worth it for me. Because you know, I suffer as a coach a lot, because I get attached to these artists, and I see them go away, you know, one by one. Whether I'm sitting here with Sundance or not, I see most of my team go away every season. Every coach does, you know. It's just part of it, and it's hard. But to see you know, the sadness on Adam's face, that's the thing that puts the drive and the smile back on my face. And to know that Adam had two artists, and by the way, they're both incredible, and both great guys, by the way. It's not about them. I'm happy for them, but I'm really happy that I was able to be the coach that coached the winner, and Adam was not.
Hey, Blake and Sundance, Sophie Entertainment tonight. Follow up on that, did you have any side bets with Adam this season? And on a more serious note, Sundance, I want to know about the reaction from your wife and your children and your family.
Well, they just walked in, and they're right
Adam
over
over
there.
there. The heads.
The heads.
The heads.
If nothing else works out, we're going to have a TV show where they come and film our chickens and me doing nothing all day. But really what makes me special is to have the opportunity to show my children that, it's not impossible to chase your dreams, and if you work really hard, you might get lucky sometimes. Mm-hmm. And that has been my important piece of advice to them this whole time. And just to be able to go through with it and actually win. Winning really doesn't mean as much to me as the lesson I'm able to provide to my family and children. And it's awesome.
Hey guys.
What was the other part of that?
Had any side bets with Adam?
I did. Actually, before the show started, and he'll be talking about this, I'm sure. Adam wanted to bet. He may not like this, but I guess I've already started talking about it. He thought that Sundance had a good shot to win too, based on iTunes, and I was afraid that maybe iTunes is going to mislead us, and I didn't know. Anyway, we had a $1,000 bet that Sundance would win, and I took it because I thought maybe that's good karma for me. If I bet $1,000, and by the way, so I owe him $1,000, and I also have to say the word caramel. Butterscotch something in the battle rounds of next season. I have to work that into my critique of whoever wins. I didn't care at the point. I thought, you know what? I'll pay $1,000 any second of the day to see this guy get in the winner's circle. So that's what happened.
So if you won 1,000, did we split it 500?
I lost 1,000.
Oh, you did?
I lost 1,000, yeah, because I thought if I bet on you, it would hex me. See what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's a weird strategy.
I know. 5 times it's worked now.
Hey guys, this is Justine from Fabulous TV. First of all, I want to say congratulations. And this question's for you, Blake. What makes Sundance different than anybody that you've ever coached before?
You know, I don't think I've ever had. First of all, I've never had anybody that doesn't fit in one genre or another. And the only reason I say that, let me rephrase that. Sundance fits in a lot of genres, and mostly anybody that any of us work with fit into one category or another. And Sundance is in a unique situation here because look at him. He's as country as it gets.
Tall and handsome, just like Blake.
But if you listen to him, he's still country. He's very soulful, and he's very bluesy, and he's got this incredible range, and he's got this undeniable talent, and he's got the world at his fingertips right now musically. And now the most important thing is he has everybody's attention. And so whatever his next step is musically, everybody's going to be paying attention to. And when you combine that opportunity, that level of eyeballs with his level of talent, it's exciting. I think we're in a position here at The Voice that, Sundance could deliver a really important album for the music industry and for this television show, and that would be exciting. Please do that.
I would love to make a record that would stand the test of time.
Yeah, do it.
A couple of good songs. You know any good songwriters?
You have the #1 song in the damn country right now, so
I wouldn't
you
bring
wrote,
that up.
So, okay. Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Jennifer with Generation. My question is, I've yet to see any of the contestants collaborate with one of the judges. Would you guys maybe consider collaborating together?
I've actually have collaborated in the past with some of my artists on their albums and actually on my albums. And I love, oh my God, the worst thing about singing with Sundance is he exposes you for the mediocrity that you possess, in my situation anyway. So, but I would be honored. No matter if it's his album or my album, of course, I would. This guy's important to me for lots of reasons. He's important to me for this television show, and he's important to me for the music industry, and he's important to me because he's a guy that deserves this. And so if I can offer anything, if that means something on one of his records. Damn right, I'll.
Would you like that, Sundance?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to have a TV show where they pay us to go do a bunch of dumb stuff in the woods and film it. And we can play music on the bumper.
How about I just start the show and you're on it, and I'll just film you.
Sounds
I've been on TV doing stupid stuff for way too long.
Thanks, Blake.
Hi, Sundance. I'm Lindsay Parker from Yahoo Music. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You alluded to this a moment ago. I remember you on the other show, American Idol, 9 years ago, and you just said you didn't think you were that good on it. What was the difference between that experience in terms of your readiness and now, like what made you ready now? And what was the difference between the two experiences?
Well, the difference was 9 years of life, I have...
Was it 9 years?
9 years ago. I got married. I have a beautiful wife. She's provided me with 3 beautiful children, and things change.
She is really good looking, now that you say. I'm not comparing.
She married up. You don't have to tell her that, Blake. She knows. That's a joke, guys. It's a joke. Take one look at her, I'm kidding. So, anyway, man, I just had to live a little bit and become a better person. And my wife and I have been playing a lot the last 5 years in Texas, trying to figure out how we could, get recognized. And we've been working really hard. And I mean, we just worked really hard together to achieve this dream. And it's really been her motivation that's gotten me up here to this point right now. And I can't tell you how much she means to me, and how thankful I am that she's here in my life. And really the difference was probably her, not me at all. So
Real quick follow-up. Did you have any trepidation about doing the TV competition thing again?
I didn't want to do it. The reason I didn't want to do it is because I was scared of the failure. I knew that if I came out here and tried out for this show and made it on and then got bumped off, I couldn't really go back to Texas and sell myself to radio and that whole red dirt scene, which is a really tight circuit to even get into. So I knew that there was a large risk, maybe that I just would have to give it up, period, But after discussing it with my wife and doing a lot of praying on it, I decided to do that, to go ahead and try out. And I used my children as my motivation to let them see that, I'm a 38-year-old man, but if you believe in a dream and you work hard to try to achieve it, then, anything is possible. Just never give up on your passions, as a great lesson I think we can all learn here. It's about that simple.
Sundance over here. Could you talk a little bit more about that, getting the victory now rather than maybe a decade ago, and if it means something different?
Well, I wasn't ready for this 10 years ago, and I know that now. Looking back, I thought I was some kind of hotshot, that I should have won everything, but At this point, I've learned to be quiet and listen to what's going on, and try to learn from everybody around me, rather than walking into the room and thinking that I have all the answers and look at me, that whole kind of thing.
And just a quick follow-up. Blake talked about thinking a bit about what kind of album, but do you have any thoughts? You talked about it would be for everybody, but any thoughts musically?
You know, we have a hard time figuring out what we are as a record and musically, period. I like so many different things. So we had to create a genre back in Texas to be able to sell our records and get on the chart and be recognized by those folks, and we call it soul country. That's the name of the record that I have out right now. We just released before we came onto the show. It's got a bunch of wonderful songs on it, and Darling Don't Go is one of them that was nominated for Song of the Year back in Texas. Yeah, so I know what I want it to sound like, and I know how to make it sound that way. As far as what people call it when they hear it, I'm just going to have to leave that up for your interpretation, and hopefully you can receive my music well in your heart, and it can make a difference. That's the most important thing to me.
Another question over here.
Hi, Blake. Hi, this question is for Blake. Congratulations for both of you. I think I can speak for a lot of us when we were watching the show Backstage, and Blake, the bit you did with Miley where you were dressing up and she was wearing the exact same thing. Can you talk about what went into that? Whose idea was that? Who convinced you to do that?
There's a producer that works on the show named Lee Metzger, who I'm going to kill, who over the years has had me doing everything from dancing to the Footloose soundtrack to wearing Miley's clothes and all these things that, you know, he's always like, it's going to be so funny. And he knows that I drink, and he knows how to time it also, as far as within the day. And so I agreed to a lot of stuff at the end of the day, and I do a lot of stuff at the end of the day here. And it airs on national television, and I hope you like it, by the way, because it could be the difference in whether he lives or not. That's okay. He'll make it another year then. So, yeah.
We have a couple more questions here. Sorry. Yep.
Hi, Evelyn Loreno from New Music Buzz. This is kind of a musical question for both of you. Sundance, I'm interested in hearing from you what unexpected genre that people wouldn't expect from you would you want to explore or work with in the future, or even an artist? And Blake, what would you like to see from Sundance?
That's a good question. I think I'll start off by just telling you all this right now before we go any further with anything, is that the most important thing to me is to create music that when you listen to it, you know it's Sundance Head. Whatever you decide that it is going to be up to you guys, but I really want to have the opportunity to write songs, create records, and you know, I don't want to have to be put into a genre, as it were. I would just like to make great music, and that's always been my goal, and that's what we've always tried to do. And I hope that the record label is going to see that I do have a view of the way things I think should be for me, and everything that I do, every decision that I make it with my wife and my family, and that's the most important thing to me. And you know, just want to make music that you enjoy. That's about it. I wouldn't have a problem making a record that would have a Cajun song on it, and then maybe a bluegrass song, maybe a blues song. I know that the record labels want you to pick something and stick to it, and let's be honest, I'll do whatever they say. But I just want to let you guys know where I'm at in my heart, which is I just want you to be able to hear a song on the radio, and I don't care if you're listening to a country station, a gospel station, or an R&B station, and know right away that that's Sundance Hit. That's my goal.
Hey guys, over here. Mertz from Inside Pulse. This question is for both of you.
Sorry, it was hard to notice you back there, but now I see you. Yeah.
You remember me from the karaoke.
Yeah. Got you now.
So Sundance, was there a moment when you realized you had this thing won? And similar to you, Blake, was there a moment when you realized Sundance had this thing won?
I thought for sure that Way was going to win. I've been pulling for her the whole time. I think that she's extremely talented, and if there's any way that I could work with her in the future, I'd love to be able to do that. She's got a wonderful family. I've spent a lot of time with her dad, Mac, who's one of the most amazing people in the world. So I thought she was going to win. I voted for her last night 10 times.
My moment was, and I had this question earlier, when Adam came to me and said, "I bet you Sundance is going to win," and I took the bet. Because I realized, like, wow, if he's this, because he's so competitive, I thought, I'm taking this bet because I can't lose here either. If Sundance wins, if I got to give $1,000, you damn right I'll give that. If he doesn't win, at least I got $1,000 out of it. So I'm $1,000 poorer, but I'm sitting here next to the winner of The Voice, and that's pretty exciting, so, yeah.
Right here. Hey, from Sundance's hometown station in Houston, first of all, you know how proud we are of you. Question for both of you. First, Sundance, you know, your father was an incredible performer. You and Blake got to do that duet yesterday. Talk about your family legacy and what this win means for that, and for the Porter area, for those who don't know that much about it. And Blake, out of your 5 wins, he's your second one from the Houston area. Danielle Bradbury was another win. You also brought Jake Worthington to the finals as well. Talk about your connection with those artists and from that Houston area.
Well, for me, I'm just really proud to be able to be in the music business and do anything that may be impactful. I've always looked up to my dad and everything he's achieved in life, and to be able to have that opportunity just to make him happy yesterday, doing that song with Blake, it was really an amazing thing for me, and I'm really thankful that NBC and The Voice would give me that platform. And he's brought so much happiness to people's lives throughout the years, and so it's just really special for me to be able to do that. And as far as the music goes, man, I really don't know anything else. My kids, they're already picking on guitars and singing and making videos and stuff, so it's a tough life, when you're growing up and you want to be a famous artist. Most of the time you're a carny, and then you might get lucky like I did this summer and find some way to put your head above the water. It's about that simple.
Before I answer your question, how much longer till your kids can audition for the show? Because that's the first thing I thought of. You could be 13 now and audition for this show, so I want to have the first shot
Levi's got
at
3
his
years.
kids, for God's sakes. It's no surprise to me that there's been several artists, even besides the ones that you mentioned that are from that Houston area. I think you mentioned Danielle and Jake and now Sundance, but Ray Lynn's from down in that area, and there's been actually several. And I don't really know anything other than to say that I definitely feel a connection with Houston. I have since the day I decided that I wanted to be a country singer. One of my dreams in life was to be an artist that sang at the Houston Rodeo. That was like, you knew you made it as a country singer if you got to perform at the Houston Rodeo. Like, in fact, you failed, somehow in my mind it was like, well, he'd never played the Houston Rodeo, so in my mind that's that big of a deal. So I've just felt such a kinship and just such a bond and connection with that Houston area and with the fans down there, and it just has been such a major part of my heart and my career too, and touring with George Strait. It's like to play with George Strait in Houston literally will change your life. Like it will change your life, period, you know, and I got the chance to do that. And, there's just been so many pivotal moments in my life that revolve around Houston that are a big deal to me, and now this is another one, you know. It's so cool.
There's a lot of great music in the area down there, East Montgomery County and Houston, Spring and Cypress, and I know a bunch of wonderful musicians, great songwriters, and I'd love nothing more than to have the opportunity to bring some attention down to that area and let some of these guys get out and be heard, because there's some really good stuff going on down there.
That's what this guy just won The Voice, and that's the first thing on his mind, is trying to bring attention to some of those artists down there. That's what I love about Sundance.
We have time for one last question, Ruben.
Ruben J. from Headlines Tonight. Blake, if you can, real quickly, comment on Gwen returning for season 12 and what you're going to miss about Miley next season.
Oh gosh, Miley not being here for a season now is like not having a rainbow after rain. Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's unbelievable, you know. She's brought so much to the show, and that's the thing about these coaches coming in and out, you know. It sucks. I mean, look, at this point, I wish we could have, you know, 16 coaches or however many we've had over the years. There's not been one coach. I can honestly, from the bottom of my heart, say there's not been one coach who's come and gone that I don't miss and that I don't have a lifelong friendship with now, and a lot of which I've recorded with. I mean, if you would have told me 4 or 5 years ago that I would have a record with Shakira or Christina Aguilera or Gwen Stefani, like, it's unbelievable what this show does, not just for the artists that participate, but for the coaches, you know. And maybe I'm being selfish, maybe mostly me, I don't know. But, you know, and Miley is just another one of those where it's like, golly, can we just have a 5th seat, you know? And the reason I say that is because you're damn right I want Gwen to come back, you know? I mean, for obvious reasons, but you know, as far as Gwen as a coach, I think that's what I need to bring the most attention to. There's never been a coach that represents the style of music that Gwen does. You know, she has a background in ska music, we all know that, and then she was able to transition from that into pop music, and I guarantee you nobody in this room can really compare her to anybody else. And that's what's important about her as an artist to the music industry, and that's what's really important about her as a coach on The Voice, you know. And I'd like to sit here and tell you that, you know, I'm a powerful guy, but I had nothing to do with her coming back as a coach. That has to do with people way above me, and obviously we were both excited and high-fiving and partying about it when we got the news, but that's because Gwen is special, you know, and she deserves this. And if that's the last question, by the way, I would like to say one more thing here before we get out of here, because I think it's important. I want to personally issue a challenge to Universal Records. This is season 11 of The Voice, and I'm sitting here right now next to a guy who has won over America's hearts. He's so popular, it's unbelievable. No matter where I go, whether I'm in Los Angeles, whether I'm in Oklahoma, Nashville, it doesn't matter. People talk to me about Sundance Head. He has proven that he sells tons of music. His biggest selling song, arguably, is going to be the song that he wrote by himself. I hope that we can all come together, meaning us and Universal Records. This is the guy that I think can break the mold and become a star out of this show. I hope, and I give him my word that I'll put my work in, and I know he will, this guy deserves to be a star, and there's no excuses anymore. We need to make the record and put the work behind it that he deserves to have this. And that has to start with Universal Records to get involved and get behind it.
Thank you very much, and thank you for supporting us all season long. Sundance is off on a long media tour, so good luck to him.